Nothing again.
Has he recorded himself footsteps?
Car's not running right. Hear that? The car's gonna break down any second, literally. So I don't know what's going on with the car. Yeah, look, car's gonna break down. Look, what the hell? Come on, dead. Come on, go 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 go. Oh man. Cutting out. I'm trying to keep the gas up because the car wants to die down. But let go of the gas right now. Look what happens. And it wants to stop. Gas, gas. Oh, it's gone. Finished. Oh gosh. So here it is. The power, it just loses power at low revs, and then it's just so intermittent. 1 minute it's driving fine, next minute it's dead, and here it is, the proof that the car has died now. So I guess that's it. So I'm gonna leave it back at the garage and get it fixed. Stay tuned, guys. So what's going on, guys? The Skyline broke down again, so I've gave it a good 10-minute rest. So I'm gonna try start the car now. If it starts, I'm gonna be on my way to MG Motorsport, because you guys can see how the car runs when I'm going through this problem. So big insight on the fuel gauge, fuel pressure. I mean, the fuel's working fine by the sounds of it. Nothing again. Literally don't understand what the problem is. It wants to start, it's ticking, it's running, but it's as if like it's not getting the fuel. So I don't know if it's anything to do with the fuel pump. It's like it's got its mind of its own. Just don't understand. Like, it's just got new spark plugs on there. Just very, very, very intermittent. It's running really rough. It sounds like a coil pack misfire, but the thing is, once it's on boost, it's absolutely fine. It's only when it gets to the low revs. Alright, let's try this again. Ah, come on! Don't do this to me! So it gone in 6 seconds. Let's go to Shabby GT500. Ah, come on, don't do this to me. Come on. And then he tries to start it right now. gotta keep the gas up. About. See, when it's in high power, there's no misfire. See, when it goes lower, second gear, that sound right, but then that's at 2,500 RPM, that is. But then when I go a bit more than that, it boosts perfectly fine. What the problem is, so I'm not too far from MGTs now. Right now it's driving, it's running fine now, so I don't know what the problem is. So what's going on, guys? Just following up from the video. The Skyline has just been parked up at MGT Motorsport. They're a Skyline specialist. The car's been cutting out here and there for the last 3 months. It started off with the car having starting problems. I'd park up, fill up petrol, and when I tried to start it, it just wouldn't start. Gradually, as time progressed, it just got worse to the point where you see when I was driving, the power started to decrease to the point where the car would just stop. Now, I'd have to wait probably 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and then suddenly the car will start up again, running absolutely fine. It'll boost fine, it'll drive fine, I'll have no problems whatsoever. And then again, probably the next day, the problem starts again. So that's why it's so intermittent. It's proper a scratch head. So I'm just gonna list a couple of components from the car itself to find out why it's so intermittent. So I've recently carried out some work. So literally just a week ago, I've changed the spark plugs. I put fresh oil and the oil filter. So basically a full service in the Skyline, but the problem is still there. The first thing would be the spark plugs as to why it's intermittent and probably blowing black smoke. So I've done that, it's still there. Let's cross that out. Moving on to the next component. So then I read upon Skyline forums, and a few people had intermittent problems, and some people advised that it could be the inlet manifold gasket. So I had a look around that, and there was literally no leaks when the car was running fine. So that is crossed off the list. Let's move on to the next component. Coil packs. A lot of people mention that in the forums to change the coil packs for their Skyline. So the coil pack's job is when the car is increasing to the RPM, it struggles. But with my Skyline, it boosts up absolutely fine with no problem. There's no hesitation basically at higher RPM. But with my Skyline, it struggles at lower revs. So which means the coil packs is absolutely fine. So we can cross that out. Moving on to the next component. This one's a new one that I've discovered. It's called wideband. Now wideband, aka oxygen sensor tool, measures fuel and air that exits out the engine, which in other words, it identifies if the car is running lean or rich. Kind of makes sense, because if my Skyline's running too lean, that's the reason to why there's an intermittent problem, or a reason to why it brings out black smoke, because it could be running too lean. But the thing is, because I don't have that wideband oxygen air sensor, I can't find that out. So that's probably an important tool for me to actually have on the Skyline, which leads on to the next component. Fuel injectors. So my Skyline's actually got ID 1000 injectors fitted on. So the fuel is transported from the fuel tank to the injectors via the fuel line. Once the fuel reaches the injector, this is then pressurized and then sprayed onto the combustion chamber. Now the ECU gives a signal to the amount of fuel and air that gets pressurized. So I may have a problem to the signaling from the ECU. So that's another component that needs to be checked out. You know, they both correlate with each other, the ECU and the fuel injectors, which could be one of the reasons, because black smoke is coming out of the Skyline. The fuel is like, it's not getting sprayed onto the combustion chamber. So I'm probably thinking it could be the fuel injector or the ECU. Again, I'm not here to preach, I'm not here to tell you guys how it all works. So just drop a comment down below. I really appreciate you guys helping out and even showing support, because it's not easy. When you get into the car game and you started playing around with the power of the car, the BHP, the more power of the car, the more problems you're gonna get. So that's exactly what I'm facing right now, and you know, without you guys, this can't be achieved. So just want to say thank you so much. I'm actually almost hitting 5,000 subscribers, so like, I'm really excited. And I can't thank you all enough, because you've literally given me the boost, the motivation and the passion to keep going. So thank you everybody, you know who you are. Subscribe to the channel for the new viewers, so hit that notification button if you want to know the next episode to see if I find the problem. Again, it's gone to MGT Motorsport because they are Skyline specialist, so hopefully we'll find the problem. So stay tuned for the next video. Peace.